Your new life is knocking on the door. Are you going to answer the door? Are you going to answer the door? Because this is an awesome reading for you. Oh my goodness. This is a really, really awesome spread. And I don't really think you understand how far you have come and what is in store for you. So I started trying to pull cards and prepare for this video on Monday. And the amount of cards that came out of this spread were absolutely ridiculous. And I wanted to take some time and digest and dissect what exactly was happening before I even sat down and hit the record button to talk to y'all. And it is too big for me to flip the camera and show you, so I'll insert a picture of what the entire spread looks like. And so at first glance, I was like, ooh, we got some multiple things happening here. And there are some really interesting themes that's coming through. But before we even get to themes and numbers and things like that, let me just tell you that you have come so far in manifesting the life that you envision, and it is down to just a choice, babe. You are looking at choices, and as soon as you make that decision, you are stepping into the life that you are manifesting. It is like you are so close. It's like you stepped forward in front of the door and you turned the lock. You haven't quite yet opened up the door fully, but you just turned the lock to unlock the door. And you've been doing the work. You have been preparing and setting yourself up and setting your ducks in a row, learning your craft. And the Empress, it is too graphic, so I'm not sure if I can show that card, but you are stepping into full creativity, full flow, full expression, and it's like you're moving with the waves of the sea, and it's beautiful. This is where you have come so far. Now, how do we fully step into that door we were talking about? Things are going to be moving fast, and if they haven't moved for you now, things will start moving for you quickly. But you have also begun to understand that you need to be balanced. So this Queen of Cups energy is all about knowing what to work with and allow Spirit to work with things that is outside of your control, right? Being balanced, and just whatever it is that is outside of your realm, give it to God, okay? Because it's going to allow you to fully be balanced in the things that now you can hold. For some people, you're building your entrepreneurship, and that requires you to set out extra hours after your work to focus on this thing. Only you know what this is. I don't know what this is. So maybe you're trying to be a creator. Maybe you're trying to be a business person, or maybe you're trying to be a streamer, right? Only you know what this actually looks like, and you're putting the time in. You are, as they say, clocking in, right? But also don't forget, what got you here requires full transformation. Old patterns of thinking must go. People who are not on your same frequency must go. Things that no longer feel aligned, things that no longer feel closest to you, things where you look at them, you get that, let it go, let it go. Because it can't come with you where you are. Because where you're headed is in your divine purpose. You are answering the door. You are answering your call. And so here is where I was starting to get really excited, because not only did I see the Empress, but the Emperor. The Emperor And granted, we're talking about manifestation and growing into the life that you're trying to create for yourself. But for other folks, this is like creating the life that you want to live and then also meeting your divine counterpart. So continue to do the work. And it's just like, it's a flow of things, right? It's like part 1 and part 2 and the trilogy. But all of these things have to follow the process. Let's just talk about the one thing I think we were talking about last week that I feel is like the most human piece of the experience when it comes to this manifestation process. This 7 of Pentacles right here. So let me just illustrate this, because I was looking at something and it illustrated, like it kind of gave me an analogy for what this actually looks like. So, for example, let's just say that you are trying to be a streamer, a really, really successful streamer online, and you start your journey, or you're really trying to be a business person. And when you start a business, you have that moment where you have to promote yourself and get that visibility in the traffic so that people know that you're out here. Hey, like you exist, right? You're trying to get people's attention. And so you're going out and you're making all of these preparations and you're doing the work to put yourself out there. Maybe you set a schedule for yourself to go on live. You're buying all the materials that you need so that you can promote yourself, and you show up consistently and nothing happens. But every day of every minute of every second, you're logging onto your analytics and you're checking to see if there's anything, a notification, an email, anything. You are in the middle of planting the seed. And when you plant a seed, when you plant this tree, you can't quite see yet, every time that you water that tree, what's actually happening underneath the soil. And so you could quite literally dig around this tree to see what is happening underneath. But then you would be hurting the growth of that tree. So think about this, like, what does a tree do before it grows? The entire root system grows first, and then it begins to sprout and grow upward. Every time that you make one step forward towards your dreams, you are nurturing this tree. This tree is the thing, and you are the gardener. But you can't sabotage yourself either, because you want to see every single piece of this process, and you just can't. Which is why this path that you are choosing is not easy, but it requires faith. And you're not alone. Ask and you shall receive, because you are being divinely led. And once you make it, and once things really start rolling in, boom, you've got the brand deals, you've got the followers, you've got the customers, you've got the clients. Everybody around you is going to start being like, who is that person? I want to work with this person, because they are so authentic. They are so funny. They're so knowledgeable. They just have all of the things that I'm looking for. And I just resonate with the message, and I resonate with this person's energy, and the vibe is great, right? But we can't get there first until we do all of the things. And believe me, you are not doing this all for naught. And all of the efforts that you are putting through matters. It matters. And keep going. Because the moment you decide, I'm tired of this, grandpa, and you stop, the dream stops. It continues as long as you continue to give it purpose, as long as you continue to give it meaning. And I am so, so proud of your journey, and I am so excited to see what you do. Let me know if this resonates for you, and if you are interested in diving into your personal journey. My booking information is going to be over in my bio. I'll see you all later.